Welcome out there, Austin. Comedian Jimmy Roulette Extraordinaire, and you're watching Austin Artists.
I pull out my backbone, I carry it in front of me. My latest CD is titled Better Than Well Live at the Saxon, which obviously is a live recording at the Saxon pub here in Austin. It's the 8th CD of mine. Throughout my career, I've been involved in a couple of different bands. There was an old band called the Ginger and Sarah Band. We put out a couple of records, but all the rest of them have been mine. So this new one is my second live record, and I chose to do it at the Saxon pub because I wanted to create more of I want to be a part of the Texas music, Austin, the Texas music thing, and although I have been based here in Austin for many years, my sound has tended to be a little bit different from the Texas feel. The title track is Better Than Well, which I actually wrote about a week before the recording. And I showed it to the guys. They came up with these awesome parts, and it ended up being the title of the record. So it's a mid-tempo, more kind of pop song, again, about not letting yourself fail and, you know, being assertive and positive while you're doing it. Jetstream is currently my most requested song, you know, and I have other songs from other records that are the one that everyone wants to hear, but Jetstream is the one right now. It's on this CD. Big, epic, heartfelt love song, basically. Let's see, I have 4 of my 8 records available on iTunes. The majority of my records, some of them are out of print, but you can also get them at my website, gleigh.com, G-L-E-I-G-H.com. So Better Than Well is available at my site. It's available on Amazon, iTunes, all those download outlets. I come from a musical family, 5 generations of professional musicians in Texas, in San Antonio. So my life and my siblings and my cousins, we all grew up very, you know, like living very close to each other, either on the same property or in the same, you know, complex when we were little. My parents were building their house or whatever. We all lived together, and we grew up going to the Coen sisters. That's my mom and my 2 aunts. We'd go to their rehearsals, and, you know, we were always around it. We'd go to their shows. When I was 9 and my cousin was 10 and my brother was 11, my mom and aunts helped us develop a band. We were called the Gospel Gang, and we did all kinds of music, country music. I mean, I sang the heck out of "Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue" when I was 9, and old time rock and roll and stuff like that. Some Christian songs, and we were hired for parties, and we played at church events, and so it was never really a moment or a question of like, when do you want to become a singer? We just were, you know, and it's like a family heirloom or something. It's passed down. In junior high, in 6th grade, I did the first talent show I'd ever done at school. Won first place. I did Olivia Newton-John, Hopelessly Devoted to You. Anyway, and from that point on, I always did the talent shows. And I won first, second, first, second, first, second, first throughout my years of school. So I was known as the singer. Well, travel has a lot to do with it. I've been traveling a lot since I was younger. I went and studied abroad when I was 15, and I studied Italian at the University of Texas, though I had already lived in Italy. Long story, I won't go into it, but unless you want me to, but it could be a long interview. Anyway, so being overseas and being 18 and living in Milan, or being on a train, being alone sitting in a piazza in Rome, those things it's such a visceral experience being there and being somewhere that's not home, something not familiar. And I think that really helped me hone in on my creative side in writing, and I write a lot as well. So when I travel, hotel rooms, things like that make me want to sit down and write songs. You know, there's something about being anonymous and something about being a little bit lonely, but you're surrounded by all this activity and smells, and so that often, I've written a lot of songs while I'm on the road. Being from Austin actually gives you a good foot in the door when you are touring outside of the city, and it is known. Whether you're in the South Pacific or you're in Europe, Austin is known as this live music city. Everyone goes, "Oh, you're from Austin. You must be good." You know, so there's a benefit to being from here. It doesn't really compare to many other places. There are not really any other cities that have this many live music venues in such a small place. You know, this many musicians. I mean, yes, there are lots in New York and lots in Nashville, but relative to its size and population, it's very much, there's not anything like it. It's very unique that way. Which, again, there is this wonderful community of musicians, and we work with each other, and that's a wonderful thing. However, you can make a lot more money as a musician outside of Austin, and it's pretty logical. There's not as much competition. People are hungry for music in other places. Funny enough, and I'm real serious about this, I've been structuring a novel. I've never written a book, but so I'm just in those beginning phases of how do I want to do it and what voice and things like that. So I'm gonna have to figure that out and get back with you, but that's something I'm really thinking about doing. And it will have a lot of, loosely based on a lot of my experiences being out there on the road, meeting people. So there's that. I'm going back to Italy in July, and going to be doing some shows with Carolyn Wonderland and her band again. I play a festival there called the Folkest Festival, and I had her come one year, and we did a double billing throughout this festival, and we'll be doing it again in July, plus some other shows. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I'm just pushing this record. It's brand new, so, you know. Wait, one more thing. I am working on raising some funds for a project in Nashville. So, working with a producer there. I can't really give any more information on that, but there's some big things that I'm hoping to pull together this year that will take me there. I pull out my backbone, I carry it in front of me.